My beloved child, there are moments in life when two paths seem to drift apart, only to reveal later that they were quietly moving toward the same destination all along. Before this title leads you to expect a certain outcome or a guaranteed sign, stay with this message until the very end. This is not about predicting another person's choices. It is about reflecting on the power of meaningful connections, personal growth, and the quiet ways our lives are shaped over time. Imagine the sunrise slowly illuminating a valley that was hidden in darkness throughout the night. The valley was always there, but its beauty could only be seen when the light arrived. In the same way, understanding often comes gradually, bringing clarity where uncertainty once remained. Stay a little longer, because the deepest truth of this journey is still waiting to unfold. Think about two rivers flowing through different landscapes. For many miles they travel separately, each shaped by unique experiences, different seasons, and unexpected turns. Yet there are places where those rivers eventually meet, creating something stronger than either could have become alone. Relationships can grow in a similar way. Sometimes people need time to mature, to learn difficult lessons, or to discover what truly matters before they are ready for deeper honesty and commitment. This message is not a promise that a specific soulmate will suddenly recognize a divine connection. Instead, it is an invitation to appreciate the value of patience, open communication, and relationships built on mutual respect, kindness, and trust. Before wondering what another person may realize, ask yourself whether you are becoming the kind of person who brings peace, encouragement, and authenticity into every relationship you value. Now the atmosphere begins to shift. The title may have captured your attention with the promise of an extraordinary connection, but this journey is leading towards something even more meaningful. It is about discovering that the strongest bonds are not sustained by destiny alone, but by character, compassion, and the willingness to grow together through every season of life. Hold on to that thought. The next chapter will reveal why some connections become clearer with time, why waiting can sometimes shape the strongest relationships, and how the greatest discoveries often begin within our own hearts before they are reflected in anyone else's. As this journey continues, another truth quietly begins to unfold. Imagine a seed resting beneath the earth after the rain has fallen. From the surface, nothing appears to be changing. Days pass, and the ground remains still. Yet beneath the soil, life is awakening, roots are growing, and a future no one can yet see is taking shape. Many of life's most meaningful connections follow the same pattern. Growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Stay with this message a little longer, because what appears to be silence may simply be a season of preparation rather than a sign that nothing is happening. Now picture two travelers walking toward the same mountain from opposite sides. Neither can see the other because the landscape stands between them. Yet with every step, the distance quietly becomes smaller. Relationships sometimes unfold in a similar way. People grow through different experiences, different challenges, and different seasons before they are ready for deeper understanding. This message is not a promise that a specific soulmate is certain to recognize a divine connection. Instead, it is a reminder that genuine relationships become stronger through honesty, patience, mutual respect, and consistent care. Before wondering whether another person is beginning to understand your value, ask yourself whether you are continuing to grow in wisdom, compassion, and integrity. The healthiest connections are built by two people who are both becoming stronger versions of themselves. The atmosphere is changing once again. The title may have suggested that someone can no longer ignore a connection, but the deeper message is leading towards something far more lasting. It is about recognizing that the strongest relationships are not sustained by emotion alone, but by trust, character, and the courage to communicate with honesty. One important layer still remains hidden. In the next chapter, you will discover why timing often reveals what impatience never can, and why some of life's greatest connections become clear only after both hearts have been prepared for the journey ahead. The deeper you travel into this message, the more one quiet truth begins to emerge. Imagine an old lighthouse standing faithfully through every changing season. Storms come and go, the waves rise and fall, yet its light never loses its purpose. It does not force ships toward the shore. It simply shines, allowing those who are willing to see its light to find a safer direction. Meaningful relationships often grow in the same quiet way. They are not strengthened by pressure or certainty about the future, but by steady kindness, honest communication, and a willingness to grow together through every season of life. Stay with this journey a little longer, because the most meaningful lesson is still waiting ahead. Now picture two musicians learning to perform the same beautiful melody. Each practices alone for a long time before they are finally ready to play together. If either one rushes the process, the harmony is lost. But when both have patiently prepared, the music becomes something neither could have created alone. Relationships often follow a similar rhythm. This message is not a promise that a specific soulmate will suddenly recognize a divine connection. Instead, it reminds us that lasting bonds are built when two people develop wisdom, maturity, trust, and mutual respect over time. Before wondering what another person may be realizing, pause and ask yourself whether your own heart is becoming more patient, more compassionate, and more prepared to build a relationship that can stand through life's changing seasons. Now the atmosphere shifts once again. Every chapter has gently moved beyond the title's first impression and toward a message of hope rather than prediction. Yet one essential piece is still waiting to be uncovered. The next chapter will reveal why some connections seem to become stronger after seasons of silence, why genuine trust can never be hurried, and how the greatest discoveries in relationships often begin with the quiet transformation taking place within each heart long before either person recognizes it. As this journey moves forward, another layer of understanding quietly begins to unfold. Imagine a master potter shaping clay upon a wheel. The clay does not become a beautiful vessel in a single moment. It is formed through patience, careful attention, and countless gentle adjustments. If the process is rushed, the vessel loses its strength. Relationships often grow in the same way. The deepest connections are not created through one emotional moment but through consistent trust, honesty, compassion, and the willingness to keep growing together. Stay with this message a little longer, because the greatest insight is still waiting to be revealed. What appears to be a delay may simply be the careful preparation for something far more meaningful than you can currently see. Now picture a bridge stretching across a wide river. Every stone placed into its foundation serves a purpose, even though travelers notice only the finished path. In the same way, every act of kindness, every honest conversation, every moment of forgiveness, and every decision to choose understanding over pride quietly strengthens a relationship. This message is not a promise that a particular soulmate is destined to make a certain decision. Instead, it is an invitation to reflect on the kind of connection that can endure life's changing seasons. Before asking whether another person is finally recognizing your value, ask yourself whether your own heart is becoming a place where love, patience, respect, and integrity can flourish. The strongest relationships are built by two people who choose those qualities every day. Everything is now moving toward a defining moment. The title may have captured your attention with the promise of a divine connection that can no longer be ignored, but every chapter has been leading toward a much deeper truth. Only a few pieces remain before the entire picture becomes clear. In the next chapter, you will discover why the most meaningful relationships are often strengthened during seasons of waiting, why true understanding cannot be forced, and how the greatest blessings often become visible only after both hearts have been prepared for the journey that lies ahead. The closer you come to the heart of this message, the more the mystery begins to reveal itself in an unexpected way. Imagine standing beside a quiet ocean just before sunrise. The horizon appears empty, yet with every passing moment the light grows stronger, revealing colors that were always there but could not be seen in the darkness. Life often unfolds in the same gentle rhythm. Some of the most meaningful realizations do not arrive through dramatic events. They emerge gradually, as time, experience, and personal growth bring new understanding. Stay with this journey a little longer, because one of the most important lessons is still waiting to unfold. Now picture two trees growing on opposite sides of a valley. Through every season, their roots grow deeper beneath the ground, even though they cannot see one another. The storms they endure, the rain they receive, and the sunlight they share all strengthen them for the years ahead. Relationships often follow a similar path. People mature through different experiences, overcome different challenges, and learn different lessons before they are ready to build something lasting together. This message is not a promise that a particular soulmate is certain to recognize a divine connection. Instead, it is a reminder that the strongest relationships are built when two people choose honesty, patience, humility, and mutual respect every single day. Before wondering what another person may finally understand, ask yourself whether your own heart continues to grow in wisdom, compassion, and genuine love. The atmosphere is changing once again. Every chapter has quietly led you beyond the title's first impression and toward a message of hope instead of certainty. Yet one powerful truth is still waiting to be revealed. The next chapter will uncover why some of life's greatest connections become clear only after seasons of waiting, why genuine love is strengthened through character rather than emotion alone, and how the most meaningful discoveries often happen when both hearts have been transformed by the journey itself. The journey is almost complete, and one final layer is ready to unfold. Imagine an experienced navigator crossing a vast ocean. There are nights when the stars are hidden behind clouds, and the destination cannot be seen with the eyes alone. Yet the navigator does not abandon the journey. With patience, wisdom, and steady direction, every mile brings the destination closer. Relationships often grow in much the same way. There are seasons of clarity and seasons of silence. There are moments filled with certainty and moments filled with questions. Yet it is often during those quiet seasons that character is formed, trust is strengthened, and hearts become ready for conversations they could not have handled before. Stay with this message a little longer, because everything you have heard since the beginning is about to come together. Perhaps you have been wondering what it means that a soulmate can no longer ignore this divine connection. The deeper lesson is not about a sudden dramatic realization or a guaranteed future event. It is about the quiet work that takes place within two lives over time. Meaningful relationships become stronger when both people grow in honesty, humility, compassion, forgiveness, and mutual respect. Sometimes one person recognizes these things before the other. Sometimes understanding develops slowly through life's experiences. Real connection is not sustained by emotion alone, it is strengthened by consistent choices made day after day. Before asking whether someone else is finally seeing your value, pause and ask whether you are becoming the kind of person who reflects the same love, patience, and integrity you hope to receive. Only one chapter remains. In the final part, every reflection from this journey will come together into one complete message. The title may have captured your attention with the promise of a remarkable connection, but the ending reveals something even more lasting, that the strongest relationships are not built by chasing certainty about another person's heart, but by becoming a person of wisdom, faithfulness, and genuine love. Stay until the very end, because the final message will connect every lesson into one unforgettable conclusion. Now the journey reaches its destination. From the very beginning, the title invited you to believe that someone could no longer ignore a divine connection. Yet every chapter has revealed a deeper truth. The most meaningful connections are not sustained by emotion alone or by dramatic moments of realization. They are strengthened through honesty, patience, humility, forgiveness, and consistent acts of love. While no one can know with certainty what another person will choose or when they may reach new understanding, every one of us has the opportunity to become someone who builds relationships on trust, respect, and genuine care. That is where lasting connection begins. Imagine a sunrise after a long night. The light does not rush across the sky. It quietly fills the horizon until everything that once seemed hidden becomes clear. In the same way, understanding often grows little by little. Conversations become more honest, hearts become more compassionate, and relationships become stronger when both people choose openness over fear and integrity over pride. Rather than waiting for another person to change, continue becoming the person you hope to meet, someone who listens with grace, speaks with truth, shows kindness without condition, and remains faithful to what is good. Those qualities create the strongest foundation for any meaningful relationship, whatever the future may hold. As this message comes to an end, carry one lasting truth with you. Do not let your peace depend on guessing